Good morning, guys. Welcome to Wicked Recovery. According to the sobriety tracker on my phone, I've been sober for 9.83 months, aka 10 days away from 10 months. Oh, yay. Woohoo. It is a disgusting rainy day, so I waited to record till I was parked in the parking lot. And I'm probably going to get interrupted. Something weird happened the other day. I had a checkup, well checkup for myself with my doctor. And it's actually the first time I've seen the doctor in a long time. Usually it's like a physician's assistant, whatever. Because I have to go twice a year because of some medication I'm on for my attention deficit disorder. And so it's the first time I've seen him in a while. So I was filling him in, catching him up on things. I told him about my sobriety. And he had no idea, because I never told him that I was drinking too much for all these years that I've seen him. Of course I didn't tell him. I was afraid that if I told him back when it was hardcore taking place, that he would say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can no longer prescribe you your medication because it's not healthy to take it with alcohol." I had more fear about the meds being taken away than I did about something being unhealthy. So I never told him. And he asked me how I had been doing it, and, I filled him in. He asked me some symptoms, what made me want to stop. What was I experiencing? How did it go? Especially in the beginning, if I had cravings or withdrawal symptoms and all this stuff. And because I stopped before it got too bad, it was getting bad and it was escalating, I did tell him how it's been. I haven't had any real cravings, even in the beginning. Someone's parking next to me. Maybe the rain will keep them from noticing that I'm talking to myself on the phone. The ADD's kicking in. What was I saying? The cravings I had in the beginning were not the physical cravings as much as craving the feeling of escape. And from caring, the reasons I drank were to escape from my thoughts and my life and my feelings. Duh. Long story, not as short as I intended. He said something to me that actually I feel like is very irresponsible for a doctor to say. And there is evidence from what I've heard that there's hardly any training in med school for addiction. You take one course, or you're only required to do one credit. I don't know how it works to become a doctor. But just like I knew I wasn't going to work with special ed kids primarily, I didn't have to take those classes. I took the one mandatory, so you understand some stuff, classes. I get the feeling he hasn't had any real training in addiction, or I don't think he would have said this, because he said, well, there is this idea of alcohol addiction and alcohol, what did he say? Abuse, I think is what he said. Either abuse or misuse. Basically, he said, since I didn't have a lot of the physical side effects, cravings, reactions, like the shakes and the sweat, where your body is physically addicted, like I am with coffee. If I don't have it, I feel like I can't function. He said, it sounds like I didn't actually have the addiction. I'm not really an alcoholic. I just had I was misusing it. He gave me, even though he didn't say these words, when an addict hears a doctor say something like, you're not really an alcoholic. You just liked it a little too much and you just used it in a bad way. But you're not addicted. You're not an alcoholic. His words, he didn't say those words, but that is what got through in my brain. Had this been a year ago, I would have been right now on my next bender. Luckily, I've spent the last almost 10 months, actually more than 10 months, because I have been working on it for a while. I just have had almost, knock wood, 10 months of success in sobriety. But I've spent the last year or so learning and educating myself about alcoholism and addiction, and now I have the wisdom and the knowledge to hear his message and not internalize it or use it as permission. To not let that derail me. I didn't say anything in the moment because I'm not quick on my feet or quick on the butcher paper you sit on. When I'm not expecting something, like this doctor who I don't know him that well to love him, but I really, really like him and I trust him. He's a good doctor. But I was so surprised to hear him say that I didn't say a whole lot. I was a little dumbfounded. Part of me now wishes I had said something, but what would I say? Would I just say, be careful telling that to people because they will use that as an excuse to go back to drinking, especially anyone who has not as firm a grip or their grip is starting to slip on this thing. And maybe I will. I don't know. I should probably for the next person. I would want to do it in person though. I wouldn't want to write anything because I feel like when you write a letter or you send a message, email, something, sometimes your tone is taken out of context and you sound like a piece of shit. I wouldn't want to do that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it in my back pocket for the next time. I mean, I have to go every 6 months, so the next time will be like November-ish. But at the same time, I hate to allow someone else who isn't quite as secure in their dedication to stay sober. Somebody could use that as a reason to throw in the towel and say, fuck it, yay. I don't know. So I just wanted to say that. I don't know what I'm going to title this yet because maybe it'll be like When Doctors Give Bad Advice. Sounds like a soap opera. As the world turns. Anyway, thanks for watching and keep fighting. Do what you know is right. When somebody tries to talk you out of your addiction or talk you out of doing what works, don't use that as a permission slip to do what maybe you're craving or wanting to do. They don't know what it's like for you. They don't understand addiction if they are telling you, you're fine, don't worry about it. You know what you need to do. So take care of you. Okay? Have a great week. And I love you. Peace.